Today we have a battle between the Shure SM7B. This is the microphone that you see absolutely everywhere. And we are also doing the Electro-Voice RE20. These microphones are very similar in cost. We've got the RE20 here it's normally about $100-ish more than the Shure SM7B. We're looking at a price in Australian dollars at around $800 to $900, depending on where you're looking. This is for podcasting specifically that I'm testing these microphones. You will see the RE20 in more of a radio setting. I've definitely seen this on sort of radio stations. When you see video clips from their sessions, a lot of them use this RE20. And then you see the SM7B pretty much everywhere. This microphone has been around for, maybe 20 years, very long time. And it is what people would say the industry standard for podcasting at this time. And so I wanted to battle these two because I feel like they are actually pretty close competitors in price point, but also in what people use them for. What I'm going to do is I'm going to test how they sound, how the sibilance sounds. So sibilance meaning how much of that sound that you hear when you talk, and different people have varying degrees of sibilance in their actual voices as well. So depending on how you speak, sometimes if you use more of your teeth when you're talking, the breath going through the teeth will mean that you actually have more sibilance. And also you may have more or less sibilance depending on what side of your mouth you actually speak out of more. Yes, there is a side of your mouth that you speak out of. And so as you move your head around a microphone, you can actually start to hear where your voice sounds the best and where your sibilance is the least. So sibilance is also something that you can manage in post-production. There are plugins that you can get to reduce your sibilance. You can also adjust it using EQ settings, and I may do a separate video on just how to manage sibilance as well for that purpose. But for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say the same phrase, and we're going to switch between these two microphones. I'm going to focus my attention on each mic as I go so that you can hear how the sibilance goes. Judge for yourself what you think there, and then I'll give my recommendation at the end. If Moses supposes his toes are roses, then Moses supposes erroneously. That's front on. Now I'm going to go off axis. If Moses supposes his toes are roses, then Moses supposes erroneously. If Moses supposes his toes are roses, then Moses supposes erroneously. If Moses supposes his toes are roses, then Moses supposes erroneously. Now we're going to do a test where I do a popping sound test. The RE20 does not have a pop filter that is appropriate. When I tried it without a pop filter at all, I was not happy with the amount of popping, and I will show you that. Popping the popcorn and sizzling the sausages. And off axis, popping the popcorn and sizzling the sausages. Now without the pop filter, popping the popcorn and sizzling the sausages. 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 Now the SM7B, this has got the biggest foam on it here. There is actually another foam that is a smaller amount of pop filter. That is probably the one that you see more regularly on this microphone. I'm using the big poppy one for the moment, the big filter on this. Next up, we're going to do a singing test. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. Off axis. There's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. There's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Now we're going to try and see how it sounds if I sing up into my higher register with a lot of breath. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the stars are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the stars are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. So now we've done the singing test. So now we're going to get Alex in here, who has a lovely male voice, and he is going to tell you what he had for breakfast.
RE20. This morning I had some porridge cooked by my lovely partner Brianna, whom you would have just seen on camera, topped with some homemade granola, frozen blueberries, banana, and then a drizzle of peanut butter. Now over to the 7B. I had some porridge this morning with some homemade granola, blueberries, some peanut butter, and it was delicious. Thank you very much.
What a fun time. That sounds like a delicious breakfast. Someone who is really awesome must have made that. Now I'm going to give you my thoughts on these microphones to end off the battle. Who do you think I'm going to crown the winner? Let's get into it. Let's start with the RE20. So the RE20 is a very high pitch frequency, flat sort of sound for me. It has a lot more sibilance than the SM7B. It is definitely suited to someone who has a lot of depth actually in their voice just on their own, who doesn't need a lot of help in that space because it's not going to give you much. Now I'm recording this completely flat, so as in there is no post-production. All we will do here is a little bit of boosting to get the levels the same. So both of these microphones are being recorded into a John Hardy M2 preamp. We have the RE20 set at a gain of 52 dB. And we have the SM7B set at a gain of 57 dB. So both of these microphones require quite a lot of gain to get them to a level that feels really good. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that if you have a preamp that isn't the best, then it means that sometimes even the preamp can't give you enough gain. It can't get you the gain that you need to power to support such a hefty, gain-heavy, hungry microphone. So you will need something to help boost that. Now SE makes a booster called the Dynamite, and you can get that to help your preamp get the boost that you need. The SM7B has also come out with a new model, the SM7DB, which actually includes what is essentially an SE Dynamite inside of it, so that you don't need that extra boost outside because it's within the microphone itself. RE doesn't have that, and it's still going to require quite a lot of gain management in your preamp. So just be aware of that. If you're looking at buying a kind of higher end microphone like this, you need to make sure that the preamp that you have can support that much gain, can get you what you actually need from it. If you have a Rodecaster Pro 2 or a Rodecaster Duo, if you have a Rode Streamer X, any of those will give you enough gain because they have Aphex processing within the actual amp that is in those systems, so that will be okay. But if you have something like a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 or something that isn't a preamp that has a lot of gain inbuilt, then you will need some form of boost to actually get you what you need from there. So same for if you were recording straight into the camera, you would not be using the boost levels that are on the camera because you're just nowhere near going to get what you actually need. So be aware of that. Even though these microphones are expensive, they are very gain hungry, which means you're going to have to negotiate that. Now, as far as what I like the sound of about the RE20 is I do like that it does have a nice kind of sparkle to it. It gives it a bit more clarity and a little bit more of that. You can hear what they're saying quite well, quite easily within the RE20, but I do find that it feels a bit flat for me. It doesn't have a lot of depth. It doesn't have much body in the bottom end, and it just feels a bit boring to me as a microphone. So I don't love the sound of this. I wouldn't buy this microphone myself for my voice because I don't think that it's going to cut it. And also it does have quite a lot of sibilance. If you can hear even when I say the word sibilance, there's quite a lot there that needs managing. And from a EQ point of view, that's going to take me too long to get the sound that I actually want out of it. Now, if we move over to the Shure SM7B, I also don't love this microphone. So it's hard for me to pick a winner, but the SM7B, if you can hear, it's got warmth, it's got depth, but I think it's got too much depth. It makes me sound too, it's like so hard to even describe the point that is sticking with me. It's good on axis and off axis. It's got a decent proximity effect. So as in, if you get closer to it, it still sounds pretty good. If you get further away, that's still okay. So the gain kind of aspects within this microphone make it possible for you to be a little bit further away and it still sounds pretty good. It doesn't have a lot in the high end that I like for my voice. It gives me more warmth than the RE20. And if I had to choose between the two based off of this comparison, I'd have to go with the Shure SM7B because it gives me a little bit more body and it feels more like my voice than the RE20 does. So if you're looking for a comparison, if you're looking to buy one of these two microphones, then my pick for me as a vocalist, as a singer, as a female, I would say that this one wins. This one performs a little bit better from a singing standpoint as well for my voice, I think. This one gave me a little bit too much just sparkliness, but no body, not enough in my sort of bottom end for when I was singing into it as well. So SM7B wins for me on this battle. They're pretty much the same price. You're going to need to manage your gain. Be aware of that. Make sure that you have a preamp that can handle it. So I've got other videos as well that put this microphone, the SM7B, up against some others. We do some other battles as well. We're going to do some battles with the RE20 as well. So if you are interested in that kind of content, you love hearing how vocal microphones sound, then like the channel, subscribe to the channel, put the notification belly thing on, and if you've got any comments, I would love to hear them. What do you think? What is your favorite for my voice, for Alex's voice? Who would you pick as the winner? And give me some reason why. Why would you do that? I would love to know. I've also got a video that puts the SM7B up against the fake SM7B. That's going to be an interesting one, so make sure you check it out.